Hey everyone, welcome to VR Verdict, episode 87. I'm PJ.
I'm Wookie.
Yeah.
We're here talking with the team from DreamIRL about their game Jurassic Snap. We have Inateno, I hope I said that right,
Yeah.
and Paul.
Hi.
And in the audience here, the live audience, we have Dave the Dev from something
Barcelona.
Penguin. Sorry.
Defective Penguin Games.
Defective Penguin. I couldn't think of the word. Sorry.
Yeah.
Creator of Warchasm. Nice to see you, man.
Yeah, good to see you guys too. So, yeah.
So we're here to talk about Jurassic Snap. You guys have a Kickstarter going. Today is Thursday, the 16th in our time zone. How many days do we have left for the Kickstarter?
It's 1 week.
1 week.
Yeah, only 1 week.
So anyone listening, watching, we'll have the links in the show notes. Check out the Kickstarter. A lot of cool stuff. You join us live right now, you can see some life-size dinosaurs, but we'll take a video and all that fun stuff. So it's a really neat game. But so yeah, if you guys want to tell us a little bit about the game and what you guys are working on.
Sure.
Well-
I will let Paul introduce the game.
Well, Jurassic Snap is a VR exploration game in which you are a photographer who studies a planet set in the Jurassic era. You have to take shots of creatures to register anything you could find about them to study those creatures like the dinosaurs. The goal is to study those creatures and seek their habits using your every tool you have, your baits, your repellents, to create interactions with them. And it's a cute game. It's not intended to be scary at all. It's a chillful experience.
Awesome.
It is very cute. It's very adorable.
Also, the game is developed for VR in the first place, but there is a non-VR version that we are
Yeah,
also working
there
on.
is a flat screen version planned, yeah.
That's
Cool.
awesome. So I don't recall, single player only, no like multiplayer or anything, right?
No. We don't
Okay.
aim for multiplayer. It's already complex to do one good single game.
Yeah.
So first
I
we
agree.
do that and we'll see later.
And how many I know you have like different zones and biomes. How many different areas in the game are there to visit to find these guys in?
Actually, we plan. There is a 6 zone for the moment. We plan on 6. That's why it's explaining the Kickstarter. But we have way more ideas, of course. But as always, you have to start somewhere.
Yeah, I was talking to you on Twitter about underwater stuff, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
So I just have to ask, and you can tell me to shut up, but the name Jurassic Snap, the way the game plays, it's an obvious nod to Pokemon Snap. So was
Yeah.
that a direct influence, or?
Inspiration.
Well, of course. It's about Pokemon and Jurassic Snap and Jurassic Park at the same time, because we love both franchises,
Nice.
and we of course wanted to do something that looked like us, and even if we describe ourselves as a Pokemon Snap in VR, we love the franchise Pokemon, of course, and we know the weaknesses the game has, and that's why we are not just doing the Pokemon Snap with dinos. We want to make our own game with differences, and hopefully this is going to be great, and we will make ourselves our own name.
Yeah.
But
Oh, yeah.
we'll have to see the project first, so I think that's a good name, a catchy name. And
Definitely.
Pokemon Snap with dinos is fine to quickly pitch the game, honestly.
It's okay to say it's a Pokemon Snap game, but because it's the simplest way to get it what it's about. But at the same time, it's not the same. That's what
Right.
Paul means, if I can say. Like there is a lot of differences, mostly from the IA of the dinos. In Pokemon, every Pokemon is scripted, completely scripted, and in Jurassic Snap, every dinos has a true IA behind. So depending on what you do, it can completely change the course of the level.
That's cool.
So this is very different.
Oh yeah, for sure. So when
Well, it's
you're
not like-
speaking, oh, go ahead.
Was it Pokemon Snap? The last time I played that was like Nintendo 64, maybe.
I
And
was
that was-
9.
That was a long time ago. That was like on rails, and you just had to keep doing the same level over and over. So if you have
Yeah.
kind of a live environment, if you don't get the info or the shots you need, you might go in and then have a completely different experience.
Yeah,
Perfect.
exactly. You have like two versions. Let's say you launch a level and the vehicle is moving along, so it's kind of following a rail. So it's the same as Pokemon Snap, okay? And if a dinos come in the middle, then the vehicle won't stop inside the dinos like it was in the first Pokemon Snap. The vehicle will try to avoid it a little bit with a small curve or something like that. And if you play against this level and you don't do any action, then you will have most likely the same scenario. But if you start throwing some stuff, if you start to launch a repellent to a T-Rex or something, then everything will change. Like let's say you have a T-Rex that is attacking a Triceratops, and you launch him something, then maybe the T-Rex will decide to chase you instead of chasing the Triceratops. And so your vehicle will have to decide a new course in the level to change what's happening.
Wow.
Awesome. So, what's the game structure like? Do you kind of have like quests to do or different things to collect type of thing?
Yeah. Where to start? As Paul said before, you are a photographer, okay? And the synopsis of the game is like you are going into space to explore a new planet. So it's kind of a Robinson Snap, if I can say.
Yeah.
And you land on this new planet, and you discover the wildlife. So you are you are not on your own. You have a spaceship which is in orbit. Yes, in orbit around the planet. And when you leave the level, you go back in the spaceship and you choose where you want to land on the planet.
Awesome.
And in your lab, you can check your pictures and find informations. And this will complete the Dinopedia. And along your journey, the professor that is with you in the exploration will give you new goals, objectives, like, oh, you find a new creatures and it's a Triceratops, but we don't know the measurement, we don't know what it likes, we don't know if it sleeps the night and where, this kind of stuff. And so this will give you new goals and new places to search.
Cool. So, how many different? We have 4 dinosaurs outside the booth here. How many different creatures do you guys have currently?
Currently, we have a dozen of dinos, and we are planning to do many more. We would like to have about 50 dinos, more or less, when the game launches. And some will be specifically nocturnal, so you have to go on the land when it's night and not on days to see them. Or even if you already met some dinos before during the day, they can act differently during the night. Those dinos will be spread over levels. Sometimes it will be possible to discover a specific behavior in one spot only. So even if you see the Triceratops many times, each place will bring new situations. So the player must stay focused and curious all the time. And this is the only way to complete the objectives we were talking about and fill the Dinopedia, the encyclopedia for dinos.
Cool. So how much like backstory do you give each dinosaur per se?
Yeah, it's not it's not an easy question. Some dinosaurs have a very a lot of information and a lot of animation. Like if we take the Velociraptor or the Triceratops. Well, if we take the mainstream dinosaurs, of course everyone will expect a lot of stuff about those specific dinosaurs. But if you take some very small dinos like Gallimimus, this one maybe won't have that much.
The Compsognathus, yeah, there will be a lot of them. So we'll see basically the same the same interactions, but every dino will have their not their backstory, but they will still be interesting, and they will be. Yeah, I think they will be really cute to take pictures of. So we are glad we have those many dinos to show you. Also, even if you see 50 times the same dino, we have a configuration that make them change all the time, like the measurements. When you see two different Triceratops, there can be small ones or big ones. There can be babies and maybe even eggs.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice
we have a morph system. So like horns and this kind of stuff will be different, and the texture. So a big dinos will have bigger horns and the different textures with different marks. So
that's neat.
Can the big dinos sometimes have tiny horns?
Yeah,
that's
there is a randomizer about that, so it's possible, but we try to control the randomizer, so it's possible to have a big dino with small horns, but if it's weird, we will avoid it.
Okay, leave. You're weird. You gotta go. So again, we have 4 dinosaurs out front here. 3 of them I recognize, 1 I don't. So do we have some fantasy dinosaurs in the mix, or is that something I just missed in preschool?
Which one do you get? I don't see them.
So
from
by
here.
the Stegosaurus, there's a, I don't know what it is. We can go look at it. Just don't go outside the bubble. So we have a Triceratops, a T-Rex, a Stegosaurus, and an eel-looking thing with legs.
I don't see them.
Yeah, you have a better vision than me because I don't see any of them, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Doesn't see any of them?
No.
Oh, you might have not gotten the updated app. Yeah,
maybe.
there's 4 dinosaurs out here.
Oh, no.
I'm going to spin the camera for those watching.
Yeah, so there's a little black one. He's got big white eyes. These aren't textured. It's darker. But it's got a really tall fin. And it's about this tall, and it looks like a little salamander with a really tall fin. Not
That's
really a
weird.
Dimetrodon.
Oh, the Spinosaurus. The blue one.
Oh, is it? It's a little tiny guy.
Tiny, because we currently the only fantasy creature we have is a turtle that is made to be cute and has a flower or bushes on its back.
That's cute.
And this is right now the only fantasy one we have, but we also intended to make some differences on specific dinos, like the Spinosaurus has not a scary face, while usually they are pretty scary, like in Jurassic Park 3. So yeah, some dinos can be a bit different, but mainly we will focus on real dinos.
Okay.
Yeah, we try to make them cartoon as possible, so sometimes you don't recognize them. I don't see them, but from what I understand, there is, I guess, the Spinosaur, which is maybe small, and this is because of scaling when we do the 3D model. So some some dinosaurs have a very big scale and we have to unscale them in the game, and some others have a very small scale and we have to scale them up. But I think you have the stegosaur and the spinosaur, and I don't know for the others. Maybe it's the T-Rex.
T-Rex
Yeah,
and a
them-
Triceratops. Yep.
And
Yeah.
the Triceratops. Okay, so the last one you don't recognize is probably the Spinosaur.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could see
And
that.
I think maybe it is just the cartoon face that threw me off.
Yes.
He's definitely cute, so don't. He's awesome. I'm not.
Also, if
dissing him
they
at all.
like the textures, yeah, it might be complicated to recognize because it can be weird with our textures.
Oh, is
Okay.
it black at the moment?
Just
He's
gets a little
black.
darker. It's darker gray.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is no texture. It's just the colors on the models directly, but it's not the texture. The texture is blue for the skin and kind of white for not white, no, yellow for the, how do you say,
Oh, sure.
the
Fins.
Spine.
yes,
Yeah, for the spine.
yeah.
Awesome.
Style's definitely cool.
Let's go back in the seat.
They're all definitely very photo worthy. I can't wait to snap some pictures. T-Rex has a nice grin on him.
Yeah, if
So-
you watch the trailer, the T-Rex can be pretty scary, but he has a dumb face, so it's still funny.
Yeah. if you encounter the T-Rex in the dark, actually, it's kind of can be scary a bit, like for if you give the game to kid of 13 or something. But even so, the T-Rex, as Paul said, has a dumb face kind of. So you will be half scared and half fun. So it's weird.
It's a good mix. So we'll get back to the game in a minute. I'm just curious. I like to find out like your guys' backstory, like either as gamers or devs. Like, how'd you get into all this? What's your origin story?
So Paul is not a developer. He's the community manager in the team, doing
Awesome.
some press stuff.
Relation, yeah.
Yeah.
But I always played video game my entire life. We are both huge Pokemon addicts, like you can understand. But we are playing every kind of games. As I like monsters, I love Gears of War, Monster Hunter World, Ratchet and Clank.
Nice.
Those are major games for me, and I could add a long list with that. So I've been playing on like a dozen devices during my life, and nowadays I could play anything as long as I play with my friends.
Awesome. I agree.
Yeah, on my side, it's a little bit more complicated. Where to start? Of course, I played the game since like the Game Boy, this kind of stuff. I'm not that old, but I'm not that young either. And I think I can say that I'm the first, in the generation Pokemon, because I grew up with this. I grew up with Pokemon. I got Pokemon Snap when it was launched back in the day, and Pokemon Stadium too, so it was cool. Playing on the Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
And since then, I got every consoles with every kind of game. So I don't have a specific kind of game, even if I'm easily scared. So usually I don't play the scary games or horror games. And that's probably also why I choose to go with dinosaurs, because usually games with dinosaurs are too scary for me. So I can't play them. But to talk about my dev background, I think I really started to make games, wanted to make games after I played, it was Final Fantasy IX. After that game, which gives so much emotions and feelings, I was like, okay, video games is an amazing thing, and there is a lot of things to do. And after that, I started to play MMORPG. And at this moment, I really wanted to make games, even if I think it was not possible. And years after, years later, I discovered what was the name? RPG Maker. I think you know. No, maybe you don't know it.
Nope.
What was it? Astromechanic?
RPG Maker. It was a
RPG
small,
Maker, yeah.
Yeah, it was a small software to make a very simple RPG in 2D, like Final Fantasy 1 or 2, this kind of game. And I started with that. And then I started scripting in Ruby. I started to make some sprite sheet, this kind of stuff. And since I've been doing more development, some 3D, and then Unity came into place. So I tried Unity, I tried Unreal Engine, I tried a lot of different game engine. And after that, I've been to school a little bit to learn more professional stuff, if I can say. And I keep learning on my own. So that's
awesome.
That's how it happens.
So being new to the whole scene, was it easier to kind of choose VR as like the media, or was it something else?
I know I don't know for you guys, but I know the VR since the DK1. With a bunch of friends, we ordered the first version on Kickstarter, and the DK1 was was shitty from the graphics to the interaction, but the promise was really great. And my friend did one of the first game who got prize on the DK1. It was Enter the Rift. It was a student games, and they got a prize for that. So it was cool. It was back in 2013. And after that, I kind of didn't touch it more VR because it was not ready for a professional production. So I just keep an eye on it and waited until 2019 when I got the Rifters. And at this moment, with the new demos that Facebook bring on the table with the what is the name of this demo? Is the first step? I think it's the first step with the small robot, in the in the caravan. And this was so awesome. I say, okay, now the VR is ready, and I definitely want to make a VR game. And when I removed my headset, the first thing that came in my mind was, we have to do a Pokemon Snap in VR. That was the first thing.
Yeah, it's awesome. I think it's funny with your game here, if anyone's watching the video, Pokemon Snap came out on the 64. There wasn't one on the Wii U, which would have been like perfect because it's the actual console.
Yes.
I haven't played the one on the Switch yet. I've been meaning to, but you're basically like kind of what the Wii U could have been doing that in VR. It's kind of funny.
Exactly. Yeah. Nintendo, Pokemon Company kind of, I will say, forget about Pokemon Snap, and they announced it. It was in 2020, I think. So I started to work on Jurassic Snap before they announced the new Pokemon Snap. I don't know why it took so long, but it's cool. It's cool they did it, and the new Pokemon Snap is cool too. So.
Oh, good. I like to hear that because I really honestly want to try it out. I just haven't had time. I play too much VR, so. So, Dave again is in the audience. Any questions or comments, Dave, so far?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Accident. The mute button was being a bit funny when I was at a Spatial Ape earlier. Paul, yeah. Is it just you guys, the team, or how many of you are working on it?
In the company, we are like 17, but working on the game, we are 4. It's a very small dev team on the VR game. And there, of course, there is people like Paul who are working on the game about the community and the communication, this kind of stuff. But where is Paul?
He's gone.
He warped.
Sorry,
There he is.
I'm here. Hello. I was talking about Paul and Paul. But
He got embarrassed.
Yeah, sorry.
But yeah. At the moment, there is 4 people. We have one new also, so we are 5. But the last one is a part-time student, so I don't really know if we can count him as one or half. But
Remains to be seen.
So you said there's like 17 people at the company. Does the company normally make sort of VR? Is it pancake games or?
No,
if
I get it. We have the team is split, and we have a 2D team. So we have 2D games aside the VR game, and we have the 3D team that is dedicated to VR game. So actually, there is I think it's kind of 7 people working on the 2D games, and 5 people working on the VR game, and then there are 2 people for the communication, 1 people for the paperwork, and 1 or 2 others are doing some work for clients because we are a self-funded studio, so we have to do that also.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So is this your first VR title?
Yes,
It is.
Yeah. You nervous about it?
not really.
No? All right. Yeah. And where's the goal? What are your sort of release goals? Is it sort of like Oculus Quest, PlayStation VR, or all
It
of
is.
the above?
It's every headset, and that's the part that makes me nervous. Nervous is the Quest 2, because actually we are working on a demo to send for the press and some YouTubers, and the demo runs very well on the PC VR, but on Quest 2 it's kind of horrible to get the good performance. So we have to find the good tricks and the good optimization, and this thing is making me nervous. I know how to make things correct, but the Quest 2 is terrible for performance point of view.
Yeah,
and I know
it does sort of take all your tools away from you and all your tricks, doesn't it? It's a real uphill battle getting stuff to run on that. So.
Exactly, yeah, and the limitation in polygons and this kind of stuff. So
yeah.
I know that once the version will run decently on the Quest 2, it will be easy to go on the PlayStation VR, and it will be even easier to go on the PSVR 2 on the PlayStation 5, which is not yet announced, but I guess it will be soon.
Fingers crossed, eh?
Yeah.
You guys should
we all want
every first Friday of every month we have a dev roundtable. We have a bunch of devs here, and they all work on Quest and they share tips and tricks. And one of the guys is like an optimization god. So if you ever want to join that talk and ask some questions, like, really good resource.
Yeah.
Sure.
Just throwing that out there. But
He goes on and on about just optimization as far. I think he's meant polygon textures, lighting pipelines, all sorts of stuff. And the lighting in this game is gorgeous, which is the first thing I thought of. Like, this might not be on the Quest, because that looks really fucking good.
Yeah.
Like, Quest games can look fantastic, but I'm like, that lighting is a little dynamic.
No. Actually, we have a one dynamic light that is only applied on the dinos, on what you see on the screen. Everything else is baked in the scene, but it's not as optimized as the version I'm working on actually. For the dynamic shadows, we are using fast shadow, which is making kind of baking a shadow, and then you can move the shadow around the ground. And it's not really a dynamic shadow, but kind of.
Cool. Now my brain's
I
trying
don't
to
know
pick
for.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Go on.
I was just saying, now my brain's trying to pick out the shadows moving on the bushes. I'm like, how is that baked in? It looks too good.
Yeah,
That's all.
this one is dynamic.
Personally, I didn't know what you were saying at first because I don't see our trailer at all on the screen. So
yeah, you guys didn't. I'm not on the newest version, so your game from the Kickstarter video is playing on this big screen.
I'm so sorry. So yeah, it starts from like you're looking at a sleeping Triceratops to one that's eating, and then look up and there's a T-Rex screaming on a
nice.
cliff. So sorry.
That's why we're all looking up here. You're probably wondering, like, what are they looking at?
Well, I'm looking at a shooting game right now, so yeah.
Oh no! It's all your stuff right now and in the video and stuff.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
sorry
they
about
update their app every week. Sorry.
But we downloaded the APK just before, but no problem. We see some Jurassic Snap picture.
Yeah.
we have 4 pictures. I saw what you guys are seeing earlier. They did another build for us to get some more of your stuff in.
Maybe that's
Sorry,
why.
but it's probably confusing for you guys.
Yeah.
No problem.
It's okay as long as you guys see what we made. We kind of know what we made so far, so that's cool.
As we're on the same page, and then the people watching the stream could then
Yeah.
it seem like a completely different game. Like dinos.
So, with your Kickstarter, what's kind of like your roadmap or your goals, or what's your hopes and dreams for that?
Well, the Kickstarter is not going well, so for now we think it will fail. Like there is a 99% of chance it failed, and we kind of know why. Probably because the objective was too low, and the roadmap was too long, and the platform was not clear. So it's part of the. We are new in the VR, so we don't really know the expectation of everyone, like on the PSVR players and Oculus players who want the App Lab version, this kind of stuff. So we, at the moment, we think that we will do another Kickstarter later that will help the funding of the game and being more clear about the funding. Because some people said, 30k euro is very small for a game like that, and indeed it's not a big amount. But this is because we are self-funded, so we already have some money on the table to make the game. Right? But we didn't explain that in the Kickstarter, and maybe it will make some difference. And also, as Paul said earlier, the game is planned to be on a flat screen too. And some players were coming on the page, say, "Oh, that looks nice," and they launch the trailer and they see only VR and say, "It's only a VR game; it's not a flat screen." Yeah. So there is this kind of stuff, and it's our first Kickstarter, so hopefully the next one will be better.
Yeah, it's really hard to like get all your information to the right people that need to see what version and all that, and so I'm always curious, and if you don't have to answer this, but so if the Kickstarter fails, like how does that affect like your mood and and your stuff like that too?
The mood is always very low when you launch a product or a game or a Kickstarter and no one is coming on. But after years of making games, at least for me, for Paul is pretty new to the game development, so he's the one who probably had the higher expectation on the Kickstarter. But since I'm making games for like 15 years, I'm used to making games, put it online, say to people, "Oh, look, I make a games," and no one cares. So yeah, it's a basic process of making things, I will say.
Yeah.
If you're not Blizzard or Nintendo.
Yeah, my job is to know why when we put it on the market, no one cares, and I have to figure out why and don't do the same mistake twice. So for the next Kickstarter, I hope I'll be as ready as possible, and I'll launch everything I have to make it the more visible possible, and so people can be interested in it. And yeah, I'll do my best so people like that love dinos have to know about this game, and people that love good VR games has to know about this game.
Yeah.
Because we are really we have great expectation about this title, because we know that usually dinos can be a really good theme for people that saw the Jurassic Park movies, because it's like something from their childhoods, and same thing for Jurassic Pokemon Snap, something from their childhood. So they I think that's because they don't know the game is coming to the Kickstarter. They don't bake, but once I will do my job correctly and they know about it, there is more chances for us to get baked.
Yeah. And I realized I'm a special user case, but I saw it, I clicked on it, I backed it in like 2 minutes. I'm like, that is freaking amazing. So I just don't want you guys to get discouraged because I really want to play this game because it looks awesome.
Actually, most of people who bake on the Kickstarter did kind of the same as you, but we have some people who came in private message and asked some question about like about the funding or about which platform the game will be playable on, this kind of stuff. And so some people didn't bake at first. They came in private message, and after talking, they decided to bake. So that's why we know we have some problem in the communication
Yeah, we were not
and
clear
explaining. Yeah, but the game got a lot of visibility. Like the trailer has been seen by a lot of people, and it's great. So we know the game looks good. I think at least, and we even had some people on Reddit telling us that this was not possible to ship on the Quest. So maybe maybe this also is. Maybe one of the reasons that people don't bake is like they see the trailer and they say, no, yeah, it won't be possible on the Quest, and so they don't bake. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. And it's always a fine line. Like, you guys have so much, like, you have to find the line of too much sharing, like, too much information, and not enough when you're doing a Kickstarter. It's kind of,
Yeah.
I don't know how you find that balance. I'm glad that's your job and not mine, but.
Yeah.
It's really
I'm not
hard.
stressed at all. Yeah, I think as long as the trailer is nice, people can only see the trailer and think for themselves. But the rest of what's written is more an excuses for them to if they're not 100% sure. But the trailer is really speaking for itself, I think, because our Valentin did a great job with that, and Henry the robot is really funny and has a great voice in this. So I think it's a really cool trailer. So I hope that people were laughing at it, and if the game is too beautiful for them, that's pretty good for us too, I guess.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I've seen some really good looking games in the Quest too, but they didn't have like the bloom and everything. This looks like it's right off the Switch.
We have a VFX artist in the team, and this guy all the day is trying to make new shader and new optimization and tweaking the camera and say, on this stage specifically, I will do the camera like that and the fog like that, and he will fake the thing with some planes and texture on the plane. So these don't take a lot of draw calls and batteries, so it's very lightweight. And in the end, you have now some rendering because you just tweak everything from where you are and what you see in the scene. And this guy is awesome for that.
You said you had like a small team, but it's a lot of people we talked to is one person. So that's kind of like, that's really, seems like a luxury. That's awesome.
Yeah, but he don't do only that. It's what he loves to do. Like he can spend days only making VFX. But the last 10 days, he has been working with me on the looking at every single trees and rocks and say, okay, there is 10 polygons we can save on this one, and there is 10 on this one, and these two materials we can make them one, and this kind of stuff. So this is our job actually, looking at everything and packing everything up to make it fit on the Quest.
Oof.
Everyone in the team is able to do a lot of things. Like we are 4 on Jurassic Snap, and there is 2 guys. So me and Mika, and also the students. So we are 3 on the technical team, and then we have two guys on the art team. 2.5, yes. Sorry.
2.5, yeah.
2.5. And 3 on the art team. So 1 is doing all the dinosaurs and the skinning and the rigging and the animation, and he also did some props like some vegetation you see on the desert scene. I think it's at the beginning of the trailer. I don't know which part is of the trailer at the moment.
Lush in this one, so it's probably not the.
and the second artist is doing all the VFX stuff, and is also doing some props, some vegetation, some texture, shaders, and materials. So yeah, very small team, but a lot of hats for everyone.
Yeah, that sounds about right, Dave?
Yeah, you're right about having sort of like 4, 5, 6 people working on a project. That is an absolute luxury. It's yeah, that's it sounds like a dream. You're very lucky.
honestly, it's not enough. If we actually at the moment we are looking for external fundings for the game. So just to talk about the funding, in France we have a public funding stuff, and we are still waiting answers about that. It's a politician, so so it can take 1 year to get an answer. But we were supposed to have the answer since a few months, and we will have the answers by the end of the year. And we are also talking with some publishers who have been very interested by the trailer. So both of these options are on the table actually, and will probably change how the game will be funded. And that's why we are talking about a second Kickstarter that will be very different. And if we get one of those 2 fundings, or even if we get the 2 fundings, we will be able to hire 2 more people in the art team. So we will have two people dedicated on making dinosaurs and animation, and 1 people dedicated on making the environment. So this will be a luxury, as you say, because at this moment we will be enough. Actually, we have even if we are 4 or 4.5, there is still a ton of work to do on this game.
Do you guys have like a release window in mind, or are you just not even thinking about that yet?
We have to think about the Kickstarter has put on the table what was wrong with our roadmap. People don't want to bake and wait 2 years. Specifically, people who are playing on PSVR, because maybe the PSVR 2 will be there. So they're not sure about that. And from what we've seen on Kickstarter, most of the games are planning on a 1-year roadmap. So we completely reworked the roadmap with the fact that maybe we will have a complete funding for the game. And if this happens, we are able to finish the game by the end of 2022. So it will be 1 year instead of 2 years. The initial 2 years roadmap was with the current team and the fact that we have to be self-funding at the same time. So if we have no funding, the game will take more or less 2 years with maybe less dinosaurs. And if we have the fundings, the game will take 1 year with a complete team. And we will have something like 50 dinosaurs, as Paul said before, and every animation that are required for each dinosaur.
Nice.
Now, see, I thought the secret to Kickstarter was charge like $3,000 for in-game assets and then just never launch the game.
Yeah.
Star Citizen did. I'm still waiting for that one. I backed that in 2014. Like, it's not
This happens a lot on Kickstarter about games that even games that got a lot of fundings, like a few $100,000, or if even games who launch on early access on Steam and they got thousands and thousands of sellings, and the developers vanish from them from the industry and don't give any news. I have one game in mind about that. There is a Cube World. I don't know if you know this game. Cube World. No?
Nope.
And the guy started to work on that. It was in 2014, I think, 2013 maybe. It's kind of Minecraft-looking game, but not exactly the same. And the game launched on early access, so it was kind of same as Minecraft. And the guy sold thousands and thousands of units, and then he disappeared. And since, nothing about this. But with this funding, the guy could have hired a team of 10 or 20 people. He was alone. It was a one-man game. He could have hired a team of that and still have extra money for him. So I don't know why. But some people do that, and it's also one of the reasons that people doesn't fund game on Kickstarter. Even if they think the game is cool, they say, okay, the game looks cool, but there is this problem or this problem, and then they don't trust at 100% the team behind, and so they don't.
It's not just whether or not it looks good. Yeah, they have to. Everyone has to vet it themselves, which is kind of hard to do. Because I've been burned like 3 or 4 times now, and it's like, I'll still back a good project when I see it. But it's kind of like I'm writing that $20 to $40 or whatever off. I'm like, that's not coming back. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen.
Yeah, I know the feeling. I do the same. So,
and I'm not knocking Kickstarter or the people who are on it. It's just tough. But like, I can't think people are going to look at the video up here and be like, they're not going to finish that. I mean, it's like, that's. I know you guys aren't looking at the same video. I keep looking up there. I'm like, that's pretty close. Like that. That's not vaporware, so that's pretty good. You see some people that have really unfinished demos and stuff up there. Like, here's my idea. That's here's a done game. That's pretty fantastic.
Oh, well, the game is not done, but thanks.
From the video, though, I mean, it's like that would fool me into thinking that game's like 90% done. Holy cow!
Yeah, but if it's 90% done, then we need 2 years of roadmap, and this make a problem in the head of people. They are like, the game looks finished, but they need 2 years. That's maybe one of the problems.
Could be a flag, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You made too good of a trailer.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, no.
Too bad.
Art form.
I'm sorry. You can look back to the dinos without textures if you want. So
Yeah.
so you can be reassured. You can back us because they don't even have textures. So yeah.
These
Look at this dino, he's
dinosaurs
black.
need some skin. Please donate.
Please donate. It's like those 90s commercials with the people who are in Africa. Like these dinos need some loving. We must get them some skins.
Is there anything that we haven't talked about that you guys want to bring up or make sure that we do talk about as far as the game or anything like that?
I'm not sure. I think we talk a lot about the game, so I don't know if you
Remember
guys
to-
have questions about the game.
Remember to follow us on socials so you know when the next Kickstarter comes.
I will retweet. I'll share links.
Perfect.
Like I
Thank
said, I want to play this game. I hope it only takes a year. 2 years might kill me. It's really good, so
No,
I will
not-
help spread the word.
not 2 years.
Nice.
Honestly, if you look at the roadmap, we wanted to go on early access. If we are self-funded, we were planning to go on early access by like maybe the middle/end of 2022. This is the worst case scenario. And for the early access, we were planning on January or February. But since the
Nice.
Kickstarter is not going very well, we will finish the demo. It will be an awesome demo. We will send you the APK if you want to try it. And
Of course.
and we will send this demo to some, as I said before, press and YouTubers. And after this demo, we will do a new Kickstarter. And after this Kickstarter, if it's a success, everyone who baked on the Kickstarter will have access to the demo. And maybe 1 or 2 months after, we will start the closed alpha, and then go on and go on. But hopefully, we have to start with this nice looking demo. That way, people know it's not a fake.
Yeah. And with the VR industry, it's kind of funny because there's content creators definitely help nowadays. But with VR, like no matter how good the video, like you can't express it, how awesome it is to be in VR in the game, even with mixed reality. But it's definitely one of the routes to go to get your word out and get eyes on your game. I don't know, Dave, did you use a lot of content creators when you put Warchasm out? Try to get the word out?
Only really since the game dropped a week or so ago, because we went because it's on App Lab, you don't really get any kind of heads up that it's going to release. They have changed that now, where they give you a release date, but frankly, it's completely useless to you because if your page is visible, and this is what happened with Warchasm, with the page being visible, if it gets submitted to any of the sites that do sort of advertise App Lab games, because obviously they're hidden by Oculus, Oculus don't list a price, so the game was showing up on various websites as free, and lots of people are like, oh yeah, I'll have that for free. It's like, whoa. So so that kind of forced my hand to get it out quickly. And and then it was a case of contacting just about every sort of content creator and streamer that I've come across in my adventures on Twitter, really. So, but it's been a good response. But in an ideal world, I mean, you guys seem like you're going to be in a better position than that. So, just make sure that that people know about it long before you're planning. Those because if you don't get those day one sales, which App Lab really doesn't give you, you're then playing the long game. It's got stuff.
That's one of our mistakes on Kickstarter. Yeah.
But yeah, that's the only advice I can give you is get it out there and get people playing it and talking about it well before well before it's released, because otherwise you are just you're not punching your weight at all. And depending on where you get access to, I mean, have you guys have you sort of submitted anything to Oculus, any kind of design document or anything to try and get placement on the main store, like for the Quest version?
It's too early to talk about that. We have the application that is made in the developer dashboard on Oculus, but we don't have anything inside that yet, because we are not even talking about a version on Oculus. They don't do early access. If we do an early access, it will be on the App Lab or SideQuest or on Steam. And going on Steam now, there is no manual. How to say? When you are on front page, it's very rare. So I don't think it will happen. And for SideQuest, from what I remember, is if you pay ad on SideQuest, I think, and you are on the front page.
On SideQuest, the deal is that you bid on them, so the price fluctuates depending on who's bidding. But I mean, I noticed just today though. I mean, I don't know what the deal is with it, but I noticed a tennis game that wasn't actually App Lab. It's like on the main store, but is being advertised on SideQuest. I don't know if it was formerly SideQuest, so that's why the ad's there. But I don't know. It felt a little bit off to me, sort of like people that made main store advertising on one of the few places that sort of the App Lab devs sort of get to actually put their content out. So, but I don't know. Maybe it was maybe it was on App Lab for months and got leveled up as as has been the case with a few titles. So it might be as simple as that. So I'm not speculate. So, yeah.
And it's one thing, like, we're a podcast, but I play a lot of VR. I stream a lot. Not a lot, but I would stream more. But like the Quest does not make streaming easy. So anything PC VR, I can hop in and just stream all day like we're doing right now. But like with Warchasm, I play it a lot, but I don't stream it a lot because it's a pain in the ass. I wish they'd fix that.
No, it really is.
Yeah.
I mean, also things like you were saying earlier, PJ, about it's so difficult to show people what that experience is like, and really one of the best ways is that mixed reality thing. But for that, although it is possible with the Quest, you kind of need it to be running on a PC. So whatever version you end up with that's going on to Quest, you probably want to keep a version of that you can run on PC and stick like the Live SDK in it and show that what essentially looks like the Quest version, but with somebody sat in it, that those mixed reality videos really are the much better way to show VR. It's me and my partner made one this week. We tried it a couple of times in the past because we have very limited equipment. But like one of those sort of Logitech C90 webcams, we got like the cheapest sort of green screen setup and a couple of lights that keep falling over constantly. And we've tried it a couple of times to get it working, and it's just always looked like crap. But this week we just went with this, okay, no pressure approach. It hasn't worked so far, so if it doesn't work, let's give it our best shot. And we spent a whole day on it, and literally about 6 or 7 hours of the day was spent just working with the lights, getting a good key and all of that. And eventually, once it was sort of ready to go, yeah, we did sort of 4 runs each, 4 levels each. And yeah, we got about an hour's worth of really good mixed reality footage, and we stuck one of them up. My partner just joined Twitter. She's very late this week. And she posted one of them as her first video. I retweeted it, and we had loads of responses. Yeah, and it was the first time. I mean, Warcasm, I'm proud of it. I think it's a fun game, but it was the first time people were literally like, because we didn't say what the game was, so people were literally asking like, "What's this? What are you playing?" Oh God, it's been out ages. Go and buy it. Yeah. So, yeah, it's I can't recommend that enough in order to show people, that side of VR. It's got to be mixed reality. Nothing else really works. It just doesn't. At least it didn't for me.
Yeah.
Oh, have we lost PJ? Something
I'm
I
here.
said.
I see his hand still here.
Right.
Only the head disappear.
Oh no! Where'd you hide it?
I think I've just done the falling through the floor thing,
I think we
which
have to
happens
shoot him.
every now and again.
Yeah,
Where is he?
the thing that amazes me about a lot of this, especially like solo devs, is just the marketing thing. You could have the best game ever, and if nobody knows it's out there, then I guess you're playing it by yourself. So
Yeah.
it's a bunch of magic tricks, I think.
Yeah, and a hell of a lot of luck,
He's here.
really.
Yeah.
Sorry. Hi. Sorry.
Oh,
Well, to finish up, guys, like, I love what I see. I love your roadmap. I'm all in for all of it. I hope it goes well for you, and I hope you keep plugging away at it.
And I'd say, depending on your second Kickstarter, if that happens, come on back. Let's have another episode and see what you got.
Yeah, with great pleasure.
sure. No, now we know this VR podcast exists. We will definitely reach out again.
And
Yeah,
definitely
come on
yeah,
in.
the Friday developer stuff. Those guys are
Yeah,
fun to talk.
The Friday developer stuff looks very fun and interesting. So
Yeah, really interesting.
I will see if I can come if it matches the time zone.
Yeah, it's the same time we did this, so it's probably 2 or 3 in the morning there for you.
Yeah. It is. I think it's 3 actually at the moment.
Yeah, just coming
Okay.
up to 3.
3 a.m.
Yeah.
We can maybe shift that around too. I think a lot of our guys are in California, so I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
It's Fridays, the first Friday of each month. So, I mean, I got to do later on a Friday. If I'm sure the California people are 3 hours behind me, 2 hours behind PJ. I'm sure they could do a little later. Make it easier on you guys, or earlier, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, well, thanks for showing up and talking and sharing your game and your stories. I think I could not do what you guys do. Like, if I saw like a couple bad tweets, I'd just be like, all right, I'm gonna go do something else. Like, I don't know how you guys do it.
Well,
You just have to do it.
yeah,
Pretty much.
personally, I really love what I do, so it's easy as long as I do what's fun for me.
It's a good
If
point.
somebody doesn't like it,
Yeah.
just say like, "Well, I'm not selling it to you."
Exactly.
What's happening with Paul?
Well,
Paul's
I don't
going
know
crazy.
why I'm flying. I lost my
Interesting.
sense of gravity, so
Well, Dave, thanks for joining the audience. If you want to hang around, I got a free copy of Warcasm for you.
Excellent. I'll be selling that key on some pirate site. Excellent.
Well,
But yeah, thanks again, guys. When like what he said with the second Kickstarter, anytime you want to come back, share some more,
of course.
get some more dinosaurs in here, show some
Yes.
things off.
Maybe get the stego nice and colored because I really like Stego's. Just that one. I mean, no rush.
If the export works, of course. We tried like 2 or 3 different exports and didn't work it, but I don't know
That
what.
stuff's always weird.
Yeah.
Exports, imports, models, scaling. Ugh.
Well,
I remember when we had Warcam or Warchasm when Dave was on for his. Some of those things were so huge, it was just like, this is really daunting. Like I don't remember if they were like exactly 1-to-1 size in the game, but it was kind of like,
no.
this is crazy. It was great.
Yeah, they
It
were.
was funny
insane.
because it was where the T-Rex kind of was, and it was bigger than the T-Rex there. But then
Yeah.
you had your own thing going on in here the week after, and they made it even bigger. I'm like, holy crap!
Yeah, everyone was climbing on it. Actually, it
Yep.
turned into a bit of a playground. Yeah,
Yeah, it was awesome.
no, it is great. Yeah. Yeah, and the did you guys chip up to the spatial ape thing earlier? Because yeah, it was I was in it for about half an hour, but there was a good sort of crowd.
I caught the last half hour, and yeah, you guys feel free to pop in any Thursday if you can. There's all kinds of awesome VR enthusiasts and devs, and like the first time I came in here when we had our booth up, the show had just ended, and I felt bad because we all ended up in here talking about other things instead of like out there on the floor talking about their game. But it was fun. It was a really good conversation.
It's awesome.
Yeah, you get to geek out with a lot of like-minded folks. So yeah, it's well worth chipping up, and it starts a bit earlier, so it'd be like 10 p.m. for you guys on a Thursday night. So yeah, it's well worth making it for sure.
it still goes. It's 3 a.m. here, so
Yeah, this is the late one.
Yeah, we're the bad boys of it.
Sir.
Just drink a Red Bull like Paul here, and you'll just fly around.
Yeah, Paul is already somewhere.
Yeah, Paul's going clubbing.
All right, well, we're gonna just close the show and stop recording. If you want to hang out, that's cool, but we'll just wrap that up. And
Yes.
so everyone watching this thing, thanks for hanging out and listening. Again, VR Verdict Podcast, episode 87. We got the DreamIRL team here talking about Jurassic Snap. Check out all the links in the show notes. You can check out videos, go to their websites, the Kickstarter, all that fun stuff. But definitely check it out. If you haven't been watching the video we have, or most of us have, definitely check out. It looks great. I can't wait to try it out. But thanks again,
Thank you.
everyone. I'm PJ.
Wookie.
Oh, yes, finally.
This was our VR Verdict.
I fed off.